It is such a pleasure to meet you, Ed.
Likewise, Tony. Thank you for taking the time.
Here's the thing. I don't want to talk about your character because I want this to be a complete surprise for everybody who's tuning into Picard. So, I know this is going to be a little bit weird, but tell me, were you a fan of Star Trek for a long time? Have you been following the show?
I mean, it would be impossible to not be acutely aware of Star Trek. I don't know where you would have to have existed in the planet to have not been aware of it. However, I grew up. My old man was into the early Star Trek. I have an affiliation with coming home from school and Next Gen being run on terrestrial TV back in the UK, and having a very tender feeling towards it. But I feel that beyond that, I sort of drifted away from it. Got quite into the J.J. Abrams films, but then once this opportunity landed and was presented to me, I really ingrained myself. I went to town on it. I feel that Terry Matalas was instrumental in that process as well. He was like, look, here you go. He sent me this long email with he called it Star Trek University, and it was like there was maybe 20 to 30 TNG episodes on there, and then there was about maybe I want to say like 7 Star Trek films, maybe from Wrath of Khan all the way through to First Contact. And I devoured them, and they were, really seminal for me and really important in structuring this character.
As an actor, I think playing in a science fiction series like this certainly taxes your toolkit that you have, because you've got to play things just a little bit different, but it's always the truth.
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think you've always got to search for the truth. That is the fundamental as an actor for me. And you have to, of course, you have to embrace the world you are, and you do need to be acutely aware of the sci-fi genre you're in. But so much of that, when you're actually on set, is assisted for you. You've got a great production design team. You've got a great camera crew. Everyone is costume. Everything is lending to create a world that, as long as you concentrate on what is really the driving force in these scenes and what is getting you through emotionally, that's at the root of it all, and that's what makes, I think, Star Trek sing so loudly and for such a huge amount of time, is the fact that it does that. It boils down and breaks down and explores relationships and dynamics and emotions and everything that we have to deal with on a daily basis, but it puts it in this world that is big and expansive and high concept and fun.
I also would think that costuming and makeup play a huge part in developing and finding your character.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's no different if you put on a suit one day to go to an event. You feel very differently. You walk very differently. It's the same thing as an actor. When you put on a certain costume, you feel the texture, you feel the smell of it, the touch of it, everything about it. It makes you move and operate in a certain way. And then, even with Jack's character, like, he had a jacket that was at the beginning, and we wanted him to have something that was pretty cool, felt like a space cowboy vibe, but was something that he had owned for a period of time. It was a nice jacket. It was trendy, but it wasn't too high fashion. So yeah, all of those things completely lent to the character. This was something I jumped at with both hands. I use all the superlatives for this one because it filled me with such joy. It's such an honor to take on, and I feel a real privilege that Paramount, Terry Matalas, CBS got behind me on this, because I was given free reign to explore a wonderful character. So I was very, very lucky. And yeah,
it's a pleasure to get to know you and talk to you, and congratulations again.
Thank you for your time. I really
Bye
appreciate it.
bye.